Good morning, family. It's DeChrist just touching base with you. Uh, so there's a couple things I want to talk about today. One of them is um, what it's supposed to happen and the misconceptions of it. So what's supposed to happen is God comes down amongst the people, marshals up the marshals up the morale and the support of the people, and from that point, uh, once the morale is boosted, God sets some plans in motion to fix a lot of problems, like let's say droughts in agriculture. God would say, you know what, we need an irrigation system. The river's there, the land is there. Let's pipe it, let's plumb it, let's get it done. People need water over there, people need food over there. What do you have over here? Chickens. What do you have over there? Grains. Okay, let's make this happen. Um, so God makes the civil plans and you know ushers in prosperity and innovation to make things better. And God knows a lot of things, but again, that's the way it usually supposed to go down. Now the people, they take 10% of their things. If they have money, great. If they don't have money, that's okay too. They have grains or whatever they're producing. 10% goes to God. 90% goes to them and their family. So now they have 90%. They live their life. God gets 10%. What God does with his 10%, or whoever, what God does with the 10% is God takes the 10% and again takes 10% for himself and takes the 90% and gives it back to the people. Again, it's just whoever doesn't have anything. Who's the hungry, who's the poor, who's the disenfranchised, the widow, the people who don't have anything. Is no retirement. It was no retirement plans. So 90% of the money that God takes in from all the 10% goes back out. That's not my money. That's the people money. That's for infrastructure. That's for taking care of the needy. And then after that, God takes his 10% and give 10% of that to the needy also. So really 90% of all the money comes in, goes out, and then 10% of the 10% that I get, I'm giving that to the homeless too, or to the needy. Maybe not just the homeless, but to the disenfranchised, people who need that. So that's how it's supposed to work. If you have money now, stop giving it to the church. Don't give it to me yet, because I don't have enough. Basically, I don't have enough believers to take 10% from what, 200-300 people to do what? Buy groceries. I don't need that. I don't need that. So keep your money, and the people that your church is probably going to hate me because I'm telling them, don't give it to the church no more. The Christ has returned. The church don't need the money. If God want them to prosper, God will let them prosper. I don't need the money. I'm prospering. So I don't need that. The money I'm get is just another responsibility to see which way it goes, to make sure it gets to the right hands, to the right people get it. And is not enough support. We don't have enough support. So this is what you want. If you believe I'm the Christ and you want to start supporting me, the first thing you do is stop giving the money to the church. And your church leaders they're gonna hate me. Not because I'm false. They're gonna hate me because I'm true. Like, what? What you mean? How does church gonna run? God said it don't matter how your church runs. Christ is here now. And if you want it, what you need to do is see, if you worried about money, see what you could do to help the Christ, and so we can get this money in the right hands. And like I said, the church is not the right hands. And as of right now, I don't want it. So save your money, keep your money. Plus, there's a pandemic. It's going to be a famine after the pandemic. There's going to be war. So all of those things are coming. Keep your money where it is. If anything, get it out of fiat currency and try to get it into some assets for yourself, precious metals, something that can stand the test of time, not get eroded by inflation and things like that. So I don't want your money, but God does not want you to give the money to the church. Another thing, there's a misconception that excuse me, God uses heavenly magic to take care of the business or take care of God's responsibilities. That's not true. God uses might and like internal. God wants to get better at everything. And a lot of people think, well, God already knows everything. God is all powerful. If God knew everything, God wouldn't have a job. God wouldn't have to learn anything or grow. There'd be no more growth. That's it. Okay, I know everything. The whole year. Okay, I know the direction of every atom. Every neutrino flying, in every photon in the universe. That's actually pretty whack existence. And God wouldn't, if God knew everything, God would be like, what's next? So God wants to learn. God wants to grow, and in an effort to grow, God doesn't use heavenly magic. And even Jesus, or Yeshua, the man Jesus Christ, he didn't use heavenly magic. When Jesus was going around, in pardon the term, if you know that man's name was not Jesus, excuse me, we understand that. But we're going to talk to people's understanding on their level. So if moving forward, when you hear me say Jesus, understand I'm talking about Yeshua, the Christ, and again, understand that it's a long progression. It's not just Jesus comes, dies for the sins. Jesus comes back, fixes everything. No, that is what we want, because we're super lazy and we don't want to do the work. All we want to do is have faith. Oh, that's it. That's my only job. Yep, just have faith that somebody died for you. And that's it. You could live, and then he can come back and save you. No, it takes more than just having faith. You have to put in that work, and God puts in that work. God doesn't use heavenly magic to take care of the business, because that wouldn't make God stronger. Oh, what's that? Fix it. Miracle there, miracle here. I got a miracle for everybody. God is not doing that. God is not doing that. And it's if you've seen your life and what's going on in your life, and then what you expect to happen with an all-powerful, loving God with all the magical in the universe, those things don't coincide together well. They don't, they're not, your reality is not, and your belief don't mesh together well. That's because your reality is the reality, and your beliefs are just beliefs. And God doesn't really God can't make moves based on what you believe about God. God is not going to do that. God has to make the moves regardless of what you believe. And the move is this: we have to put in work. God puts in work to become better and stronger. And even when you see somebody performing miracles, that's because they fasted. That's discipline and balance is the magic. When you're strong enough not to eat for 3 or 4 days, or you stay in the remembrance of prayer, and that's your existence. And so if you ever hear me say, you know what, God, if God tells me to give a message of healing, and you see it, take it seriously, because while that message is out, I'm not eating. I'm not eating. I'm fasting. I'm praying as long as that's out. And that's why it's not going to be out there indefinitely, like a permanent blessing. That's like writing a blank check. Hey, whoever listens to this is going to be healed. If you hear me say whoever listens to this is going to be healed, trust and believe they're going to be healed. And I'm putting in my discipline on this end to help with the universal consciousness as that payment or that balance for that. Like, you know what? You want me to interfere with the physical laws of reality for what? I already set up these laws. You want me to interfere? So I gave you an immune system already. That's what you born with an immune system. Now you sick on your deathbed. You want me to come and save you? I already gave you what you needed to defend yourself. If that didn't work, what you need extra? How can we balance this out? And the balance is by fasting and praying and staying in remembrance and being mindful of your spirit, yourself, and your body, and those things that a lot of us don't want to do. We just want to have faith and chill until we get saved. And that's the weakest, laziest way to try to exist. And God is not going to do that. So once you understand the difference between your beliefs and what's really happening in reality, you can start consolidating those things. Like, wait a minute, I might have a wrong belief. Every time I touch this fire, I get burned. I thought the fire wouldn't burn me, but every time I touch it, I get burned. You have to start consolidating what you believe, what's really happening in your life. And I'm going to help you do that, okay? So I don't want to make long videos, because apparently as soon as you go past 10 minutes, well, if it's entertaining, you got 15, 30 minutes. If it's something like this, you have to be devout, love God to watch me for long periods of time. So I'm just going to make short, quick videos. Again, I am the Christ. I'm on Facebook as Nathan D. Elders. And I'm just going to be dropping knowledge there. Another thing, these videos are not easy for me. I'm good with God I could talk to God. Boom. You think that means I'm good with everything? No, I'm not good with everything. The Christ is not good with everything. Just because I could talk to God, that doesn't make me a rocket scientist. That doesn't make me um, a master builder or anything. No, I'm still learning. And a couple things. Uh, I lost my train of thought, and that happens sometimes with me because it's so many heavy thoughts flying through this way, and then my own thoughts come in this way, and so what I'm going to do with this one, I'm going to put my thoughts back together, and I don't do no editing for the most part. I just freestyle. Oh, and that's where I was at. Now I remember now. Excuse me. I'm out my comfort zone with these videos. This is not my forte, making videos. No, I'm usually, I could sit back, type, write all day and send it, but this is out my comfort zone. But God wants me to get interactive with the people to let them know um, things are going to change coming up in the next 2 years. A lot. Things are going to change in the next 2 years. We're around February 22nd. Um, things are going to be a lot different. The heat is being turned up on hell. So we're going to get the best parts out. So it's basically what we're doing is refining consciousness. We're going to get the best consciousnesses out, just like kind of like when you get in the cream and you doing the milk and you churn in the milk and then you get the cream off the top. That's what's happening now. So if you like and subscribe, you are the cream. Congratulations, you made it. Push share and get this message out, and we're going to get the creaminess scooped up, and then the rest of that stuff is going. The heat's going up, and we're going to uh, build a build a society based on goodness, love, kindness, responsibility, and we're going to build it with the mind of God and not with the mind of man. So thanks again. It's Nathan Elders. Leave a comment, and that's when I say, if I say I hope to hear back from you, leave a comment. Yes, and if you believe or disbelieve, leave a comment. I'll get to it. I'll answer it. Yes. Thank you again. It's the Christ.